Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and welcome to our first episode of Hope Harbor Jets, the GM Corner,
Let's
featured
go.
here on Hope Harbor Sports Network. We are so excited to bring this to you. Now, I'd like to introduce our two general managers, and I'll pass it over to them.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, my name is GM San Pierre.
How you doing, everyone? My name is GM Stan, and I'm so happy to be with you all today.
Yes, welcome to the GM Corner.
Thank you. We are super excited to be bringing you this first episode of GM Corner, and today we are going to be talking more about Hope Harbor Jets and Hope Harbor Cares, two of our main organizations, and the GMs are GMs for Hope Harbor Jets, which is our inclusive flag football league here that we started just a couple weeks ago, which is super exciting. We're also going to be talking about how you can volunteer and opportunities to get involved, and then game registration, as well as some game day updates and how our games have been going so far. So the first thing I want to ask and talk about is, can we talk a little bit more about updates from Hope Harbor Jets and what's been going on with that, Sam?
No, absolutely. So I'm excited. Hope Harbor Jets, as you mentioned, is our inclusive all abilities flag football league sponsored by the New York Jets. And we've been really excited. We have I want to say, over 28 families that have signed up to be a part of our program. We had our second game on Saturday. It was indoors because it was a rain date, and we had a lot of fun. We really had a lot of fun. The kids and the parents got to participate. Myself and GM Stan, we got to be quarterbacks for the green and white team, and we really had a lot of fun. Indoors was really fun. We had our referees there, we had our families there in the bleachers. It was just really nice, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to give children with special abilities and children with all abilities an opportunity to get some physical activity, build community, and learn more and build awareness about programs that are available to children with special abilities.
Stan, is there anything that you'd like to add, or maybe talk a little bit more about how we pivoted from having rain and maybe not the best air quality this past weekend, and it still went great indoors?
The week prior, we thought there was going to be no rain, right? So our first week, we came in and we said, "All right, this is our first day." Previously on the forecast, there was no rain, and so while we're playing in the middle of our game, it began to pour.
Bad.
Badly, right? And then you're looking at your weather forecast on my phone, and I'm like, it said 15%, and I guess 15% was just enough right over here. And you know, our families were great sports. They persevered through it all, and they decided to continue playing the game. But as we were navigating through our week in preparation for week two, we said to ourselves, "Hey, look, let's take a look at the the forecast this time." And surely enough, this time there was a lot of rain scheduled for this Saturday. So the pivot was, initially a bit difficult, but once we looked around to different communities, we ended up finding a space that was relatively 15 minutes in driving to our original location, which is Montano Park. And then the individuals that hosted us this past Saturday. Very welcoming. It was a very great atmosphere, and parents found it easy to get there as well. So we're super excited about that. So much so we're considering in the future, as we continue programming with regards to sports, we're considering just finding more ways to use that indoor location through the winter.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. I mean, I was there on Saturday as well, and it was a great environment. Like, the owners of the space were super welcoming, and it was great to kind of see how we can maneuver it on the fly. But Again, just speaking a little bit more about this rain, just quickly from the previous week, Sam, if you want to add on, I think it shows to these families still showed up and like how much they want this, like for coming in like the actual downpour of rain. I don't know if you want to speak more about that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, it was for me to watch our participants continue to play in the downpour and them tell their parents, "I'm not leaving. We're not leaving. We're gonna play. We're gonna continue to play." I think that was amazing, and it motivated us. It motivated me, and it motivated Jim Stan to stay. Right, even when we were like, "Oh, it's raining," and we haven't played in the rain in over maybe 20 years. We haven't played football in the rain. In over 20 years, right? So like even me, I thought I was gonna get sick, right? And so
I was
did
counting
James
it.
Stan. Yeah, we thought we were gonna be sick, but for our participants to still want to play, it in the rain, and we played in the rain, and we had a good time. I think it says so much about the need to have sports activities for all abilities for everyone. I think it created a level of community and camaraderie that we just haven't seen in a while, right? And that's the whole point of this, right? Is to provide some alternatives to the special abilities world, right? Like we know that this is a world that exists. Many people don't think about it on a daily basis, right? We know that there are people who have autism and who have who are hypo or hyper, right? And have so many different abilities that are different from all abilities. But where's the awareness? Where's the conversation? Where do we get a chance to really understand what these needs are, and what the community wants to do? What are their skills? What can they do? People tend to think that children with special abilities cannot operate the same way that children with all abilities operate. And I'm here, right, as the quarterback of the green team to prove everyone wrong, right? As GM Stan here, I was running plays, I was running I formations, I was running audibles,
Right.
and they followed every play. Our participants, I told them, I showed them the football. I said, we're running an I formation. You go to the left, you go to the right. They followed the plays. They were right there. They caught touchdowns, right? One of Stan's MVP, MVP of the game. One of Stan's players on Team White, he caught 4 touchdowns on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right? He caught 4 touchdowns on Saturday, right? Now, so when you tell someone that, hey, I believe his name is Jason, right? When you tell someone that, like, Jason caught 4 touchdowns on Saturday on his Hope Harbor Jets football team.
His first day.
His first day. That was his first day on the team, and Jason caught 4 touchdowns. Right? I think he ran 2 of them. He caught the other 2. Like, come on, right? That's such a motivator. Like, Jason is, come on, like, I don't care what anyone would have ever thought about Jason. He caught 4 touchdowns. We have it on film.
Right.
We have it on film. He caught 4 touchdowns. He got the game ball. He feels happy. He's a part of a team. And I think that's what our mission really is. And I think that's what we're really trying to show the world, that our special abilities scholars, they can do it all.
And to your point, Jason came in pretty nervous, right?
Yeah.
Jason came in and he was more nervous than the other teammates. And as a matter of fact, our goal, one of our goals, of course, when it comes to the Hope Harbor Jets, everyone gets a touch, right? As much as possible, we want everyone to really experience running with the football, catching the football, whatever it is. And throughout the game, throughout the beginning portion of the game, when you let Jason know, hey, Jason, I'm going to toss this ball over to you and you're going to run. And you can hear Jason behind you saying, I don't like the idea of this, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if you should give me the ball. The entire time, Jason's behind you, just like, I don't know. And to see you hand off the ball to Jason, he scores a touchdown, and he is just so elated because
Right.
he feels like he's done something. You know, it's like the highlight of his week, right? And his mother, who's sitting on in the stands, are just super excited. Um, you could tell is just like, oh, I didn't expect my son to be this excited, but I'm glad that he's here, and he really took over the game. So shout out to Jason. We're going to
Shout out to Jason.
definitely,
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna definitely we have for every touchdown scored, there's an interview that's given as well. So on one of our shows, you're going to be able to see the interaction that we were able to have with Jason as well.
Yeah, I think that those are both like two great points, and just how we have a story of we're starting this for the first time and we're kind of like seeing how everything goes as we build it. But like seeing kids with special abilities, seeing kids that maybe didn't have this opportunity before this league started, try something new, and maybe you start off with a bit of nerves just like everybody else. Like this is a common feeling that even, me on my first day of soccer tryouts or whatever, I'm super nervous and I'm like, oh my gosh, don't pass me the ball, whatever. And then you get out there and your coach tells you, try it, do it. And you do it and you're like, oh, I scored a goal. I scored a touchdown. Like it's such an inspiring story. Like you're building confidence. We're instilling confidence into these young kids, especially who maybe didn't have an opportunity to play on a sports league that was geared towards kids with special abilities before. So I think it really highlights, like, again, both of your mission into building this. So I think that's great. I mean, Jason here is our example that we have, our MVP, I guess, of the week. And that's another thing that we're hoping to do is have, stars of the week or like MVPs of each game. I don't know if you guys picked an MVP for our game this past weekend. Did you guys have one of those?
Yeah, it would be Jason. Jason will be the MVP, MVP of the game, and I think Steven was the MVP last weekend of the game. Jason's the MVP this weekend, and
Okay.
we're gonna continue to do cool stuff like that, right? Because we want them. I think that's amazing, and we're giving game balls every game, right? To one of our to the MVP, and we're everyone's gonna sign it, and they're gonna be able to have the game ball in their home. So I think that's important as well. Doing those kind of things to really motivate and support, and to for them to have a story, right? Because this is a story, right? Like I have stories. Jim Stan has stories. I remember I blocked, once in high school, I blocked the football for us to win the championship game, right? That's a story that lives on. And I was, they hosted me to the top, and it was like, oh my God, like, those kind of stories, they do so much for your confidence, right? Like to have the confidence to know that I was defensive player of the year in junior high school, and right to those things matter, it builds your confidence, it builds who you are as a person. War stories, especially for young people get to share war stories, and to be a part of a amazing franchise like the Jets. On top of all this, I think it makes such a huge difference, and that's what we're going to continue to do every Saturday at Matana Park in Elizabeth, New Jersey, at our Hope Harbor Jets games.
Yeah. What do you think was one of your favorite moments from this past week or the first week that may have not made it into the highlight reel, so to speak?
I'll jump in. I would say the collaborative effort that all the parents and the participants have placed into this has been, you know, an amazing feeling. I think you as you mentioned, we're building the plane as we're flying it, and you don't know who's going to walk in and how supportive or unsupportive you're going to find um, the people that we serve, but there is just a genuine familial spirit in the atmosphere when it comes to building out the Hope Harbor Jets and the families that are coming in. Everyone is just so on board. Um, we recognize that we're supporting all abilities, and so the fact that a parent is able to see their child um, play a sport and just get super excited about coming back is instills so many pieces of our mission, and so
Right.
the familial atmosphere that comes into this the Saturday mornings and afternoons, really what takes me through. How about you, Sam?
No, same thing. I think for me, this Saturday in particular, um, I enjoyed the fact that we had parents who were like, okay, let's go, let's jump in, and they were also involved in the process and involved in the games, and they're excited to play and to score and to be a part of it. I think that's great. Incorporating music, I have a music background as well. I think the music made a difference too. What do you think, Jim Stan? Right?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like making it fun and
yeah.
having some energy and hyping everything up. I thought that was phenomenal, and I really love the idea that it doesn't matter what the weather is, we're gonna do this. And I think that translating that message to our parents, right? That like we're serious, we're really serious about this, right? Myself and GM Stan talk about Hope Harbor just every single day, right? We have other ventures that we do together. We're business partners. We're very close friends, but we talk about the Hope Harbor just every single day, right? 7 days a week. This is important to us. This matters to us. So I think we're starting to translate that over to the parents and even the kids, right? Like I'm hearing the participants say, "So next Saturday, coach, yes, next Saturday, we'll be able to do more, and invite your friends." And I think they're starting to realize that invite your friends, invite your families. Like we want to grow this thing. We want it to be fun. We want to have multiple teams, right? Our dream is to have multiple teams play each other on a Saturday, and then have the winner of both teams play each other as
Mm.
well, right? So I think that is the thing that excites me, seeing the vision, seeing the mission, seeing where we're going.
Yeah, I think that's great. It really shows how much we've made this kind of a community aspect just from the beginning like segments, and then hopefully in the future it's going to continue in that progression, especially with families. When I was there, it was like grandparents and siblings and nannies, and they're all just coming up to me, and someone even was like, "Oh, like you're Elizabeth, right?" And I was like, "How do you even know my like?" It kind of takes you out for a second. You're like, "Oh wow, like I've been interacting with these families, like either on social media or through emails, and they're trying to put names to faces." And it's so great like seeing in person the impact that you're making. And that also kind of brings me to some of your other like ventures, because you guys have worked together before. And I wanted to ask a little bit more about Hope Harbor Cares and how that connects to the sports league, and how you kind of formed all of these cohesively.
Yeah, so when you think about Hope Harbor Jets, it's really programming for individuals with special abilities, right? That's where that's let's stop right there. It's programming for individuals with special abilities. In the same way, Hope Harbor Cares is an agency that creates programming for individuals with special abilities. Now, as we navigate, as we've been trying to navigate, what does this looks like? What does this look like in terms of programming? We are looking at programming community wise. What are some activities our participants are able to do within the community? Whether it's trips that they're able to take, right? Um, Career wise, how can we teach some of our participants how to create a podcast just like we're doing right now? How can we teach our participants how to cook? How can we teach our participants um, that are high functioning to create a resume and look for a job, right?
Right.
uh, how to be waiters and waitresses, and things like that. And so, as we're navigating, and that's what Hope Harbor Cares is, programming generally for individuals with special abilities. And there are pieces of that programming as well that that we're creating with regards to the workforce. We are preparing our participants for the workforce
Right.
with Hope Harbor Works, right? And so 77% of individuals of individuals with disabilities are unemployed within within New Jersey. And so part of our mission is to decrease that percentage, right? And so, as we are navigating through our programming generally, and creating community experiences, so when you can go from the career piece, but also to the fun piece, bowling, music,
Right.
um, um, uh, uh,
Sports.
right, food making, right. Then we go right into sports, where we
Right.
looked at each other and we kind of said, hey, why don't we create a team too? Because every piece of Hope Harbor is, how can we expose the abilities of the participants that we serve, right? We all do, in our day-to-day, we all can say, here's what I do. But then many of us can also say, here's what I do well, right?
That's good.
Our, what are our special abilities, right? And so, you know, that's why we call it special abilities instead of special needs. We use the phrase special abilities more because we want to expose the things that you know how to do best, and we want to give you the opportunity to have those sorts of experiences too. So that's how we're able to combine the two, Hope Harbor Cares and Hope Harbor Jets.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I think.
yeah, you explained it well. Sam, add on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing when you really, so at the on the Hope Harbor Care side, we're providing cares for our special ability scholars and participants, like James Stan just mentioned, right? We want to we care about you guys, right? We care about your future. We care about the next 10, 15 years. We when the world may turn their back on you, we care, right? We want to put you in a position to learn a trade, to learn a skill, to be able to fend for yourself, to be self sustainable, right? And through the programs that we provide, that GM Stan just talked about, through Hope Harbor Cares, right? These programs are going to help create a roadmap for our special ability scholars so that they know, okay, if I have an interest in cooking, if I want to be a chef, there's a program that can help the family create a roadmap on how do we get them to their goal in the next 2, 3, 5 years, right? So that's what our program does, and GM Stan does a phenomenal job as our chief executive officer at Hope Harbor Cares, managing all these programs, ensuring that all of the programs are communicated well to not just our education partners, but also to the community. My job as the Chief Development Officer in Harbor Cares is to get funders and other organizations, nonprofits, governments, right, elected officials to understand what we're doing, one, and number two, to help us fund it, right? So we can keep these programs affordable and to keep these programs going, to keep our staff, able to administer these programs so that our communities can continue to grow.
Yeah, I think that was a great explanation for our new viewers or our new family members that may not know the connection between Hope Harbor Cares and your other foundations, as well as Hope Harbor Jets. And kind of adding on to that, as we move into our next segment, how can members of the community get involved or volunteer with Hope Harbor or get involved with either of these or your other organizations?
Yeah, so I would say, we have Hope and Motion Foundation, which is the foundation that where Hope Harbor Jets is under, right? We have so many programs coming up. We have Hope Day that's coming up, and we'll be promoting that throughout our different programming. We have Hope Day that's coming up, and you'll learn more about it, where we're going to have the community come out, right? And we're just going to provide hope to all communities and give them access to things that they may need access to. Some people might want someone to pray with them because they're going through a hard time, or they want to talk to a counselor. Some people may want to participate in our Hope Harbor Jets Hope Day game, right, where they can get some exercise going. Someone might need some information about mental health services. We'll have a mental health counselor there. Someone might need information about schools, right? What schools are out here that help people with special abilities and all abilities, right? We'll have different sponsors, restaurants, barber shops, right? We're going to have a barber that's going to be cutting hair, right? So our Hope Day is going to be a place where the community can all come out and we can inspire hope and change through everyone to the community. And they can visit our Hope in Motion Foundation website at www.hopeinmotionfd.org, and all our information will be on there. And again, we're going to be promoting Hope Day, really big throughout all of our shows and all of our programming. So they can visit our website there. They can visit our Hope Harbor Jets website if they want to join our Hope Harbor Jets and they want to sign up and join. Go to www.hopeharborjets.org and sign up and bring your families. One of the myths that I want to kill today is everyone can play at Hope Harbor Jets. Everyone can join, right? This week we're launching our recruitment for our Hope Harbor Jet Setters cheerleading squad, right? We have our cheerleading squad. We're looking for young people to join our cheerleading squad. We want to give our children with special ability scholars an opportunity to cheer with other children with all abilities. So if you're out there, you're a mom, you're a dad, and Saturday mornings your kids are driving you crazy in the house and they have a lot of energy, come to our game. Come to our game this Saturday. Sign up your daughters for our cheerleading squad. Sign up that energy-driven young man to join our team. We'll have a Jets jersey for him. We always feed our participants. We have free food, waters. We have the equipment, the footballs, the flags. We have everything. We want them to come out and play. And these are the kind of community building programs that we have here at the Hope Harbor Jets. And these are the things that get me so excited.
And to be really clear, if your daughter wants to play on the flag football team, that is welcome. If your son wants to cheer, that is welcome as well. So very inclusive on our end, and we want to be able to find a way for our communities to really be supported in any way.
Yeah, I remember seeing, it's a part of our promotional video that we did on YouTube before we were getting the season kind of up and running. But
Right.
we had a group of cheerleaders cheering, and we had an awesome volunteer who was like, "Oh yeah, I used to cheer in high school, and I really want to come and be the cheer coach." And they came up with this awesome chant. I'm not going to butcher it here by saying it. Go check it out. But it was cool. Like, they had the chant, like they were all doing it together, and it really showed like you can bring all these sort of elements together in a traditional football game sense, and then you kind of bring that sense of community and people all volunteering and bringing their unique talents to the table to kind of bring it all together and bridge the gap. So it's been really cool to see. One more question I think that I have for right now is, how has this growth been really inspiring for everybody? Like, we've had, Hope Harbor Jets from, the first couple of weeks up to last week. And then you have athletes, you have families, you have cheerleaders. What does this growth mean for the organization? Stan, I don't know who wants to take it.
Let's take it. It's a feeling that is indescribable. We from taking this from a thought to where it is today is a wonderful feeling. This really birthed out of a simple conversation with the Jets themselves, and in essence, when you are given the green light, sometimes you don't. There's often, okay, we don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. We don't know how to start. But the first piece is we're given the green light. The second piece is we're looking at each other and we're saying, how the heck are we going to get this thing done? Right. And then, and we were relatively late in terms of just getting the green light to begin with. And then Sam coming up with the wonderful idea to listen, let's get some interns here. And with the interns, I believe, and this is something that we're just going to continue on for years to come with the interns, I believe, we were able to build something so quick, and there's still a lot of building to do, but we're able to build something so quick, standing up on its feet with passionate interns, and that we've created a family atmosphere with. to really get this thing done. This does not happen without
No.
someone like you, Elizabeth, who's getting all the work done in the background. I could name all of them, but this just doesn't get done, and we're elated to be able to be in that sort of position. And then you see how throughout an entire game, any parent could tell you a million times how excited they are, how thankful they are, how grateful, and they're telling you as well, hey, look, programs like these are not programs that last, or programs like these it's are difficult to find. Some programs are at capacity, and hearing that from folks, and being that vessel to be able to serve our community is just, it's an amazing feeling. So we thank the Jets, we thank our interns, we thank the families that trust us, and pushing on, keep pushing on.
Yeah, no, you hit it on the head, man. I think, AGM Lizard, I think it's like to see it happen in less than 3 months is unheard of, right? That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. And to have phenomenal, phenomenal assistant general managers come in and we literally hand them the football. Literally, right? I handed everyone the football when we were talking, and to hand everybody the football and say, hey, this is yours, and for everyone to take that in and to kind of make it happen, and the ideas and the visions and the different things, some things worked very well, some things didn't work so well, right? And us just learning and pivoting and moving around and figuring it out and really building this franchise from scratch is what's exciting for me. I like to compare the Hope Harbor Jets to a church, and I'm like, look, the church is growing, right? Every weekend we're getting more members to be a part of this church, and they're buying in, and families are buying in, and friends are buying in, and communities are buying in, right? I think that is so special and so unique, and for us to see it being developed, right? Like three of the AGMs have their own shows right now, right? And another AGM has her own show, right? And we got, AGM Liz, who's been our host and our producer, right? To watch you go from having the first Jet Fuel show to now you're producing multiple shows, right? Like that's huge, right? And that's something that is going to live on forever on our channel, and having our sports network, and just having skies be the limit to where we can go with this is what's exciting for me. And when I lay down to bed at night, and I'm like, oh man, I have to do this, and this for Hope Harbor Jets, something that didn't exist last year, right? For me, that's exciting. For us to have sponsors, corporations, companies come in and invest their dollars into the Hope Harbor Jets, right? I think that's huge, and for them to be able to leverage what they do on a daily basis and know that these families are participating and are benefactors of our sponsors, I think that is amazing. That's phenomenal. Having just every single person who's volunteered their hours or their time, our referees, right? We have Kobe and Adam, our referees, who are there every Saturday and refereeing the games. Like, just the organization and the franchise growing every single week is exciting. Me and GM Stan having our own show, right? Like, and to watch the development of our show, right? We're going to bring in guests in and having more conversations, right, to promote and to build out this franchise. These are the things that get me really excited, and these are the things that make me understand and feel that, hey, this is something very unique that we're going to be bringing to a special abilities community that may sometimes feel forgotten, that may sometimes feel like they're the rut, that may sometimes feel like after all the other all abilities kids get sports programs and camps and all this thing, then maybe whatever is left and we can give to the special abilities community. That's not what we're doing here at Hope Harbor Jets. We're bringing them to the front. We're bringing them to the forefront, and we are highlighting the amazingness of our scholars. I mean, I can't wait to see the interviews, the reels of them running and scoring touchdowns and going back and forth. I can't wait to show the world, right? These are special ability scholars. They can do it too. So that's the thing that gets me most excited.
Yeah, that's great. You guys both spoke so much, and I am one of the interns. It's been really cool to be a part of this along with my fellow interns, Emily, Jacob, Will, and Eric. It's been a really cool experience, and I've always had an affinity for programs like this. I love watching ESPN. I love watching sports talk shows and all that stuff. It's something that's always been super interesting for me because I love to learn about it through that. And then being able to like do this has been really fun. It's been teaching me a lot. And it's kind of giving me an idea of maybe something I could even pursue in the future. And being able to do it for Hope Harbor Jets and see the community that we're able to like bring to the surface and spotlight has been really cool. We have a broadcast from this past weekend. We've been working on that since the beginning and we finally got it up and running. So having their families, kids with special abilities, or any of our participants to be able to watch back their plays, or their grandma who lives in Florida to go tune in and watch it while they're here playing, has been cool to see get off the ground. So yeah, it's been really great. Oh, and also with Eric and Emily, who have been working with our sponsors, like you mentioned, on our website below, you can see all our sponsors are featured on there. So it's been really cool to see what they've been able to work on, and kind of building this and kind of getting it out into the community. But the last thing, final word from both of you before we go. Sam talked a lot about what he's excited for. What should we expect for this next game on Saturday? And is there anything else you're excited for the rest of this Hope Harbor Jets season?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think this Saturday I'm excited to see all of the work that we put in during the week come to fruition on the Saturday. So, um, I want to tell my viewers we have a headquarters where our AGMs and we're working every day. All right, we're working every day. We're putting things together. We're contacting families. We're making sure that the field has what they need. We're making sure that things are happening. Like this is happening every single day. So to hear and have the meetings and the conversations and to see it come to fruition, it's really exciting, right? So I know that this Saturday is going to be even more exciting because I believe we'll have more families there. I believe our cheerleading squad is going to be kicking off. Our music is going to be there. Our teams are going to be there. Like I'm really excited for this Saturday. I think the weather should be better, so it's going to be an exciting game. And I'm inviting a few guests to come as well. So I think this Saturday is going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah, same here. I'm excited just about the growth, the word getting out. A lot of times when folks see programming in this way, they think, "Oh my goodness, this is going to cost." This is completely free. This is running off of the juice of the New York Jets, but also our sponsors that have so kindly, sponsored meals or even some donations. And we continue to look for it so that we can grow this in the way that it should. But this is free. This is free. We are running the most um, unorganized field play in the most organized organization. What do I mean by that? There are there's too many things to expect when playing with individuals with special abilities. So we're just having fun, right? Um, Everyone's going to get a touch, uh, whether you're high functioning or low functioning. It doesn't matter. Everyone's going to get a touch. You are going to your child is going to get that experience, and that's what I look forward to. And I look forward to just continue building that family experience through the Hope Harbor Jets.
Thank you, Sam and Stan. It's been great hosting this first episode for you guys, with you guys. It's been great hearing more about what you're expecting and hoping and building for this program. I know you guys are going to come up with an episode soon, next week or the week following. But in the meantime, I hope to see all of you at our next game on Saturday back at
This
Matano.
Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday. Hopefully, with weather providing, we'll be back outside. But this has been a great first episode. Thank you for tuning in to Hope Harbor Jets GM Corner.
Thank you so much, AGM Elizabeth. Thank you for hosting us, and stay tuned. Stay tuned every week. GM Corners. Stay tuned.
YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Website.
Instagram. Yep.
Follow us.
Follow us. Yep. Join.
That we're doing is right there. Join our family.
Thank you.
Take care.